Everyone, this is Dave Lane with Dave Lane Astrophotography, and today I'm going to work on a video that shows the comparison between the Gigapan Epic Pro and the ipano, which is from Ioptron. I've got both of them set up in a pretty similar situation. You can see there's a lot of similarities. They look almost alike, and you'll also notice that the Gigapan has taken a fair amount of damage over the years. I've used this for 2 seasons of shooting, and I basically used this for 1 season of shooting. I didn't use it in May, but I did use it in June, July, and August. And other than a couple little spots here with the silver, for me having dragged it and set it down in sand and dirt and on top of rocks while I set up the tripod to hold it, it survived very well. One of the other things you'll notice is one of the problems I had with the Gigapan is the cable has a tendency to do that. When I usually leave it plugged in when I'm carrying it, because I usually carry this as a unit, put the tripod in my backpack or attached to my backpack, and put the camera lenses and all that in the backpack. So that means I'm carrying this separately, and it has a tendency when you lay it down, because it originally comes out straight, for this cable to catch and to bend back because it's very loosely put together. I bought a couple extras. This one I think is finally, I tried to nurse it along for 1 shoot, and it would occasionally work. With the ipano, they have a much nicer setup that's much more protected. It actually goes into the little pocket here, and the ipano comes with, God, I think 6-8 cables. I'd have to check in the box, but it's got a bunch of cables that come with it, so you can automatically set it up and be ready to shoot with almost any camera. It's also got a on-off switch on the side, and the very interesting thing on the ipano is I have not charged this. It is now November 1st. I have not charged this ipano since July. I also took it on my trip in August and had 8 nights shooting with this. Shot hundreds of photos, and it still has half charge on the battery. The battery life on this is completely crazy. The battery life on the Gigapan is basically good for maybe a night, night and a half. It does have removable batteries, and I have an extra one. For that reason, it is a plus that you can swap out the batteries. But the battery on the ipano is pretty amazing. They weigh about the same, even though the ipano is a little bit smaller. Part of that is, my understanding is this is almost all battery, and I believe it, because the battery life on it's really incredible. Like I said, I'd never charged it the entire time in August, and it still to this minute has half a charge left on it. The setup's roughly the same. The cameras fit in. The ipano actually has this be removable, and it's got a nice Arca type mounting on here that's very secure. The camera does not budge at all. And I think that's a real nice engineering plus. You get a lot of better features or better engineering with the ipano, I believe, because this is a telescopic company. The Gigapan is more of a photographic company doing night photography and or just regular photography. This one's mostly designed to do panos during the day, less so at night. This one's designed a little bit more to do it at night, and designed more by a telescopic company with, I think, better engineering. It just seems much more solid when you're playing with them, and I'm going to run them side by side so you can see them here in a little bit. The ipano, or the Gigapan camera, comes out like this. This is removable if you want it to be. I usually just leave it in the same spot, And then this clips in, and you can also see I've broken this off because it does stick out. And when you're carrying this, or when I'm carrying this as a unit, because I don't really have a backpack for it, because I have a backpack for the cameras, is I'm carrying it like this, and when I set it down, this is pretty flimsy, and you can see it's probably made out of a pot metal, tends to break off over time. Now, it lasted for quite a while, but after a period of time, it didn't last any longer. Now, the trouble is, you can see the ipano is, or the Gigapan versus the ipano for stability. There's a considerable difference. I'm pushing these with about the same amount of force, and this is very stable. The Gigapan is not, and the camera tends to be looser in the mount, as you can see, maybe, because it's not as secure as the archetype connector here. So that's going to cause some of your photos to have a little bit more give to them, especially if you're trying to do night stuff where you're worried about stars moving even a little bit. You're going to have more difficulty with this because if it's windy, the mount's going to move, and I've got this tightened down as much as it'll go, but as you can see on a windy night, there's a strong advantage. And honestly, when I got the ipano, I didn't use the Gigapan except for one series of photos the whole summer. This basically was my backup in case something happened here. And other than that, the ipano, clear winner on engineering. Next, we'll look at the menuing systems.